Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new Max Talks Box Office Breakdown episode here on Max Talks Movies. Today, we're talking about the box office from October 15th to October 17th. We're also going to look at the domestic box office overall in 2021 and the worldwide box office. Welcome back to Max Talks Box Office. My name is Max Didenberg. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do this show every single Monday. I also do movie reviews, TV show reviews, streaming platforms, movie rankings, multiple videos every single week breaking down on a lot of these movies that I'll be talking about today. I have done full reviews of, so you can see my playlist of my other box office breakdowns of the entire year and my other reviews of the entire year as well at the end of this video. Also, please comment down below, let me know what movies did you see in theaters this weekend at the movie theater, and then also like the video, the thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel the best. So let's start talking box office with, not shockingly, Halloween Kills comes in first place in its opening weekend, making $50.35 million. It is around $28 million, though, short of the opening weekend of the 2018 film, Halloween 2018, which made $78.5 million. So Halloween Kills does fall off a bit. It was available for both in theaters and Peacock, but really you can tell that the Peacock edition did not really add any less value to this movie at the box office. Not a lot of people have Peacock. You also need Peacock Premium to get this movie. If you just get the free version of Peacock with ads, you are not able to get Halloween Kills. So 50.3, again, the third movie's already shot. It's coming out next October. Halloween Ends, not in pretty okay box office. It's not a special box office number like we've seen earlier in the month with Venom, Let There Be Carnage, but it does that $50 million, which you really need to be at some point in your opening weekend if you're a big budgeted film. So Halloween Kills in first place at $50.3 million. In second place in its second weekend is No Time to Die. It makes $24.2 million in its second weekend, which is only a 56% drop in its second weekend. Normally, these big blockbusters usually drop around 65 to 70% in second weekend. So very positive news for Bond here in the United States, only dropping 56%, which does take its domestic box office total to $99.5 million. So it's almost at that $100 million mark. We'll talk about that in the domestic view. So Bond is not doing great here in the United States. It's doing solid, but it's really doing well worldwide. We'll also talk about it instead. So No Time to Die not dropping off that big 65% to 70, I think shows the length of this film that could have at the box office the next couple of weeks. In third place is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Venom is currently in its third weekend of release. It makes $16.5 million. So after it dropped 68% last weekend, it drops another 48% this weekend. It takes its domestic total to $168 million. Venom doing really solid at the box office as well. Again, breaking all the box office records with a $90 million opening weekend, but it has since really starting to fade away from being at the top. Again, it's a pretty competitive month. It's not like Shang-Chi had a month to itself. Venom facing tough competition, but it's staying currently in third place with 16.5. If we keep moving down the list, and number 4 this week is The Addams Family 2. I think showing how this is a movie available both for PVOD, premium video on demand. You can rent it for $20 or buy it for $20, or you can see it in theaters. It made $7.1 million in its third weekend, which is a 29% drop. The Addams Family 2 now in 3 weekends has made $42.2 million, which is actually really good for this film, especially when it's on PVOD for the same price to see it at home. Really solid, the fact it's holding up this well here at the domestic box office. Again, we're getting closer to Halloween. This film, The Addams Family, is a horror, a Halloween-based franchise. We'll see if The Addams Family, with all this competition coming down the line, can stay in the top 5 for the rest of the month. It is tough competition now, especially heading into its 4th and 5th weeks of release. And in 5th place, in its opening weekend, The Last Duel finishes 5th, only making $4.8 million. Not a good sign for Ridley Scott as he begins his big push again for the award season at the end of the year. This movie coming out, and The House of Gucci coming out in November, both 2 Ridley Scott films. Again, good reviews for this film. Audiences were not huge fans of this film, but critics were. But obviously, the older demographics still not coming out to movies. I think movies like The Last Duel are movies proving that case. So only $4 million, $4.8 million for The Last Duel, and it looks like this could be its only week in the top 5 at the box office. We'll see again next week. So if you move on to the overall top movies at the domestic box office, Shang-Chi is still number 1. It added its multiple. Now, also, by the way, the big story of the domestic box office for this past weekend was that this was the first week that Shang-Chi was not in the top 5 at the box office. It took 7 weeks of release, but Shang-Chi was at number 6 with 3.5. So it was just under $1 million short of The Last Duel. So the first time, so it's 6 consecutive weeks, Shang-Chi and Legend of Ten Rings was in the top 5 at the box office, but now it took its 7th week of release to slip out, but still making $3 million in 7 weeks. It's really good longevity. So it made $218 million total here domestically. Black Widow is still number 2 with 183. F9 is still number 3 with 173. But the big change was Venom, Let There Be Carnage, jumping up to number 4 at $168 million. It's only now $5 million short of F9, which they should be able to reach by next weekend. And they are $15 million short of Black Widow. So we'll see if he can climb up to number 2 and possibly join. Again, it needs $32 million left to get to the $200 million club, which only Shang-Chi is in. So Venom leads The Quiet Place Part 2, which is at number 5 of 160. Free Guy is at number 6 with 120. Jungle Cruise is at 116, number 7, and Godzilla versus Kong is number 8 at 100. And again, No Time to Die is at $99 million. So No Time to Die will join the $100 million club and will at least pass Godzilla versus Kong next weekend at the domestic box office. So we're gonna have another, and once No Time to Die really by tomorrow joins the $100 million club, it will be the 9th movie this year to get to $100 million. But overall, before we even get to that official $100 million club, we currently have 8, will be 9 when I talk to you next week here on the show. Let's move into the worldwide box office. A lot of stuff to talk about here at the worldwide box office. Regarding American films, F9 is number 3 with 715. Godzilla vs. Kong still proving strong at 467, number 5. But No Time to Die jumps from number 10 to number 6 this weekend at the worldwide box office. No Time to Die has made $447.8 million worldwide. And I'm trying to get the official numbers. 348 of that 447 has come from overseas. Only 99 come from the United States. So really doing well overseas, as No Time to Die trying to get to $500 million, which would make it the number 5 movie of the entire year worldwide. Shang-Chi is number 7, so No Time to Die has officially passed Shang-Chi at the worldwide box office. Black Widow is at number 8 with 376. Free Guy is at 323 at number 9. And A Quiet Place Part 2 is in the top 10 at number 10 with 297. Venom Let There Be Carnage is only at 283. So you see 2 films, while Venom Let There Be Carnage is doing much better at the domestic box office than No Time to Die. No Time to Die way better overseas. And Venom Let There Be Carnage needs $14 million. They're behind A Quiet Place Part 2 to join the top 10 movies worldwide. So big weekend, by the way, here for movie theaters, as Dune, which is my most anticipated movie of the entire year, is the big new release hitting theaters this weekend, on both in theaters and on HBO Max with no extra cost. We'll see. It's already been available overseas in theaters for the last month, finally hitting the United States this upcoming Friday. The French Dispatch, which is the new Wes Anderson film, which also includes Timothée Chalamet, does also release this upcoming Friday in limited fashion, limited release for The French Dispatch exclusively in theaters. And then next weekend, The French Dispatch will release worldwide and more worldwide markets. Also, Ron's Gone Wrong, which is a new animated film that a lot of people are talking about. That movie is also exclusively in theaters this upcoming Friday as well. So really, while Dune is definitely the headlines, a lot of stuff is coming out, and we're almost at the end of the last 2 weeks of this big month of October, where we see Venom, Let There Be Carnage, No Time to Die, Halloween Kills, and now we're getting to Dune and Last Night in Soho as the big marquee movies left in this month. How will Dune perform? Denis Villeneuve, who's one of the best directors, in my opinion, working today, his movies normally don't fare the best at the box office. We'll see if Dune can break that trend. It's currently over $100 million worldwide before it's even hit theaters. So that's this week's Max Talks Box Office. Please let me know your thoughts. First of all, if you went to see the movies, If you went to the theater this weekend, let me know what movie did you see. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell for some of my other breakdowns. Click that link right up here. If you want to see my other movie reviews, click that link right there. And I'll see you guys very, very soon.